So having said that, I mean, you have some collectors who will pay upwards of $30,000 for one bottle of whiskey. How do you advise on a purchase like that?
It's interesting. We deal with a lot of whiskey collectors through the Whiskey Dog business and through our Whiskey Ale business, which allows us consumers to actually buy whiskey. And what we advise customers to do is, it's a passion-driven investment. So you've got to really understand and just love what you're doing. You know, whiskey investment isn't for everybody. So if you're going to spend $30,000, $40,000 or $60,000, you know, and upwards, you know, I think the last whiskey sold in Hong Kong, the most expensive whiskey was $630,000.
Okay, that's a nice chunk of change.
It is a nice chunk of change. When I'm advising clients, I like to stay actually round about the $10,000 to $15,000 mark as a high end. Occasionally there are bottles that will turn up, you know, kind of $13,000, $40,000 that are absolutely worth buying. We're looking at collectability, you're looking at rareability, looking at collectability, you're looking at rarity, and then you're also looking at is it something that somebody's going to want to buy at a later stage? So is it a brand that people know and trust and are going to source out? So and there's certain brands that definitely do that.
Okay. So there's a whiskey index, there's a whiskey hedge fund. I mean, if I'm an average collector, let's say, how do you advise an average collector on how to value a whiskey?
Well, I think it's a great question, actually. I think valuing a whiskey is collecting whiskey as a whole is like collecting art. It's a passion-driven investment, and therefore what it's worth is what somebody's willing to pay for it later down the line. So that's where, I mean, understanding what you're investing behind, so understanding what brands will perform well, understanding what whiskies will perform well is key to getting into collecting.